Young
Oh, what a
catch and score! She's fouled. Chance for the three-point play.
I'm Ty Young, and I played with the Chicago Sky from 2009 to 2017. My time was great there, 9 years. The fans were phenomenal. My teammates were great. That's the longest I've been on a team was with Chicago. It was a great time. I love the city of Chicago. I still, talk about it to this day, about it being a second home for me. We went to the finals.
And the Chicago Sky will advance and play the Phoenix Mercury in the WNBA Finals.
We ultimately lost to the champs, but it was a great run for my career and a great time. Definitely when we beat Indiana at home to win the Eastern, because back then we were doing like Eastern-Western Conference Finals. So to win the Eastern against Indiana, who was like our biggest rivalry every year, they had catch there the entire time while I was still playing. That was one of the most memorable times.
Young, three on the way is good. Your OG coming through. Yeah, OG?
It's been great. We first started this league last year. Our first year was in Las Vegas. This year we're in Dallas. Being on the PEC, we select all the girls that play. We select what rules we want to be, enforced. It's a lot of different guidelines that we do there. And I'm also playing. They all call me OG.
But OG is not going for it. OG rolling to the cup beautifully.
Just the camaraderie. It's just great vibes, great energy. Seeing like a lot of the younger players grow and work on their game and become better to prepare for either overseas or WNBA season. I enjoy that. I've always been into fashion. I've always been in tune with how I look, how I present myself. How my parents raised me, for one, was always be well kept, always make sure your clothes are on, make sure your hair is done before you go outside. So that was instilled in me. But the fashion part was just something that I've always been into since I was a kid. Even when we didn't have, money to afford some of the nicer things, and being the sneakerhead that I am. So now, it's became a statement piece for me, and it's become something that when people speak on my name, they're like, oh, Ty Young, she's swaggy, she's into fashion, she's fly. So I appreciate it, and it's something that I've always been passionate about.
Young got the baseline, put it in, and a foul. What an effort.
Going through the obstacles that I went through throughout my career, learning patience, learning roles. I was young when I went to Chicago. It was my second year in the league, so I was used to being a star from college. Having to adapt to roles where sometimes you're starting, sometimes you're coming off the bench. Sometimes you're getting more shots in a game than in other games, But the ultimate goal is to fight, for a championship. So on the court, I've learned to adapt to different roles. Off the court, I matured and I learned how to become more of a woman, being on my own, being in a major city, on my own, far from family. Because when I was first drafted to Atlanta, it was still driving distance for my family. Mm-hmm. So I think Chicago has definitely helped me mature and helped me to grow up.
Shot clock at 2. Young's got a fire, and she hits it. Wow.